Hello everyone and welcome back to another video. Before we get into this video, please make sure that you are subscribed. Only 78% of you are subscribed to my channel, and it will really help me out if you do. Anyway, on to the video. So today's video is another banner review. This is on the new Valenti. This is the Christmas Valenti. It's based off the Mark II Valenti. It has the same ultimate. Let's actually get into her animations and what she does. So, this Valenti, her first card, which is this one I believe, it's just a normal card. It's got no sort of effect. It isn't actually too strong either. Then you have her level 2 here. This is a freeze card. It's the same as Red Jericho's. It also has the 20% remaining HP it removes when the freeze is broken. That can either happen naturally or just by you hitting the freeze and breaking it. That can also not be a crit. The damage is flat. It will just be added onto your attack at the end. The amount of damage you've dealt. As you can see, there's a freeze. Level 2, it lasts for 2 turns. It does 40% remaining HP, which isn't actually too bad, but she's more of a control character, which you'll see later on. She can crit, of course. This is a normal Gotha. This is like sort of the Gotha attack seal. This is the level 1. The animation's actually pretty cool for her, I'm not going to lie. I got to the level 2, which is of course 1 turn. Damage isn't the highest, like at all, even for just testing a character. Then we go to her ultimate. Her ultimate is just the same as normal Valenti's, which is damage reduction, plus I think damage output increase by 50%. Animation doesn't change, unfortunately. I wish animation changed with certain festive characters, because it's just the normal animation. But anyway, let's get into Valenti herself. So let's talk about her passive, which is decreases crit damage of enemies participating in the battle by the value equal to 75% of the hero's crit defense. So that means 75% of her crit defense will lower the enemy's crit damage, which is very big, don't get me wrong. But I think they've done it incorrectly or maybe correctly. So I'm not too sure how they designed this character, because they must have a whole discussion how they want to design characters, how they want to be played. Because obviously she is designed to stop characters from critting. And if you think about it, the biggest threat in PvP now is Escanor, who always crits. But Escanor can't have any of his stats lowered. So she's useless unless you don't verse an Escanor. If you don't verse an Escanor, right, she's completely broken, and crits do less damage than non-crits. Which is pretty insane. But I think that does help, because her crit resistance is very low. The only problem with this villain is you will have to make a whole new set, because the normal Valenti Mark II requires full crit resistance, because she is fully based off crit resistance, which means you're going to have to make a whole new set if you do pull her. Apart from that, she's got her Relic, which is, the stats on it are pretty average all round: 220 attack, 400 defense, 2300 HP, and then the actual effect of the Relic itself is if a critical strike occurs from an enemy's attack on the hero's allies, so her or her allies on the field, the hero's attack, which is hers, is increased by 8%, limited to 5 times. It doesn't work in demons. So you get 40% increased attack, which isn't too bad, but she's a very support and control character. I do think she's very good. She could even be a counter to Escanor. Well, I mean Escanor, I mean the whole team, meaning that she can stop the rest of her team from the rest of the enemies from critting, and if Escanor does crit her or anyone else, obviously she gets her attack increase, she can free, she's got attack disable. Her ultimate isn't the strongest, but it's not the worst. The only issue is that it's a buff and not a like grey buff or something like that. But there are a few drawbacks which I'll get into now. Mainly the fact that when you do kill Escanor and he goes into his final flame effect, let's just say they're 6/6. Rare occurrence, but they could be 6/6. They can't be frozen, so you don't get the 2 ticks from the freeze. You also then can't attack disable, so Escanor is now completely open to the elements and can now completely destroy you. Obviously, it is rare to find someone 6/6, but even people who are 4/6 onwards have 3 revives, meaning it will take you an entire turn to kill them. Escanor's death damage, if you do have your Escanor on the team, does not count as 2 ticks, only counts as the first punch as a tick, which is kind of stupid. I do think Escanor's death damage should count as a tick, because normally if Escanor's on Final Flame, you use your Escanor punch card, and let's just say Festival Diane, the death damage will not affect Escanor. It will deal damage to it, but it won't take off the Final Flame, which I do think is kind of stupid. The fact that he can just sit on that flame for as long as possible until he either plays a card or takes damage from either an AoE card or someone has single targeted him. You can't use the Escanor single target that has a death damage or an AoE effect. It doesn't work. Kind of stupid, not too bad. Let's just get into the banner itself now. And then I'll get into there. You can get a free summon. I'll get into that afterwards. The banner itself isn't too bad in terms of there's 4 characters that make it good, not including Valenti. Valenti herself, she's not a bad character. She's a good concept for a character to stop people from critting. For example, she's very good against Esterosa or Philo especially, because Philo is just she just loves to crit. Obviously, if you do get debuffed a lot with Philo, you are screwed because Philo. Oh, sorry, yeah, if you get debuffed a lot with Philo on the enemy team, you will still be screwed because she lowers crit defense and crit resistance, meaning that your stat that is ensuring that they have low crit chance, or sorry, crit damage, is now been completely removed and they can still do a lot of damage. Obviously, you still probably will have more than your base crit defense, but it will still be quite a bit lower. There's also something I want to talk about is that, of course, in geared you can run gear and you can put crit defense rolls. Of course, in ungeared you can't do that, which is sort of a big problem as her crit defense is very low. We're talking her level 1 base crit defense is about 40%. I don't know how much her like max crit defense is, but I would say you probably will, if you were going to be using her in ungeared, you probably would be running crit defense food just to ensure you get that extra crit defense. Because in ungeared, like it's your box CC, your overall box CC, and your constellation have a bigger impact than most things, whether that be old level or outfits. Anyway, let's get onto the banner. So Valenti, she's actually a good unit, I'm not gonna lie. Bad, Wedding End, bad. Summon Valenti, bad. Green Eastern, bad. Christmas Elaine, bad. Summer Roxy, bad. Summer Diane, bad. And now these are like the 4 like chads of this banner, the characters you want, which is Wedding Day Brynhild, Christmas Lilia, Summer Merlin, and Summer Diane. So of course Summer Merlin's been out for a while. Lilia came out a year ago, but she's only been in I think 3 or 4 banners, I want to say. Brynhild, this is her first time since her release, I believe. I might be wrong about that, but I believe this is the first time since her release since she's been back. And you've got Summer Diane, who I believe this is her, I don't know, I think it's her 3rd time returning, including her own banner. So these are good characters. Obviously, they're not the rated up character and they're not the guarantee, so I wouldn't bother chasing them. But of course, if you want them really badly, I'm gonna warn you there probably will be an end of year festival. I'm not sure if it's gonna be like there's gonna be another dark unit, because I don't think releasing 2 dark units and then being the same named character is the best strategy to do. But of course, it's Netmarble; they don't really care. But of course, I always like to do a summon, and I'll get on to how you get the free tickets themselves. Will I get lucky? Do you reckon they remove the Escanor, so the Ultima 1 Escanor missions only on the Ultima 1 banner? If they do, I think I don't like that. I think they should be on every banner. If it isn't, of course I haven't seen it not on any banner because I haven't summoned on any other banner. But I do hope they do keep it. Anyway, on to how you get to the tickets for free. So I do have the translations on my phone. So this first one here is complete 3 demons. Literally just get a friend or invite some random person using the real time and do 3 demons. There you go. This one is the new Hawk event. I think you literally just have to have 20 goes at this. Let me do start. But literally just do this 20 times. Of course, it says you can, I think that's like 30 times a day or something. So you just do it 20 times and then you get that one, which is also pretty cool. This one here is the Awaken 5 pieces of equipment. So you just awaken equipment 5 times. So you could just use 1 piece of equipment, go from 0-star awakening to max awakening for a character you may want to use. There you go, it's done, it's over. This one I did test what it was because I wasn't too sure what it was because the translation wasn't the clearest. And it turns out that this one is the Hawk one. Obviously now we can get more Hawk points. So this is this, just literally just open like 50 of the boxes. It does count if you do it in the 10 rolls. So 10 rolls does count as 10 points towards it, which is also very useful. And this bottom one here is just complete PvP 5 times. Doesn't say what, it just says PvP, so that could be you can either play elite or normal, whatever you normally do. Obviously, you do get a lot of points, a lot of these tickets out of this, which you need for this one. So in theory, you could do all of these and then have enough for this one, because then that would then give you 80 here, and then you need 50. So of course that's done, and you get that, which is going to give you 2 whole boxes. So on global, I am very close to Brynhilde. I'm here. I think I'm like 10 off Brynhilde or like 20 off Brynhilde, something like that. So of course, you know, I think from this event on day 1, if you really wanted to, you could push to Grimmore, I believe, is 24, I want to say. Yeah, you can push to this Grimmore, and I've seen gameplay of this Grimmore. He is very good. He is a free-to-play character who was obviously designed with Nalfamy in mind, because he's also blue as well, and so is Raphtalia, so he just buffs himself. I'll do a whole video on him whenever I get him, stuff like that. But anyway, thank you for watching this video. Overall, I don't recommend summoning because of end of year, and we haven't had Ragnarok for 6 months now. We haven't had a new original character from Ragnarok, so we are sort of overdue for one. Of course, there is a current character who's already been leaked, and that's another Christmas downfall list. I don't know why they're making another one, but that's been leaked for next week. And we normally do have a normal banner, which is a normal. We normally have, when there is an event, we have a 600 banner, and normally a 242 banner. That's just the normal thing for events like this, like Christmas especially. Christmas has always had a 242 banner and a 600 banner. And they've always been, so you have the 600 one this week, next week we'll then get the 242, and then we'll probably have to wait 2 weeks then, which will then mean the Ultimate 1 is gone, the banner is gone, and then they'll add the end of year festival. Of course, I do think it's going to be very hard to get rid of Escanor. Escanor is a very strong character. They've given him the ability to be practically immune to all stat lowering debuffs or passives, meaning that this end of year festival can really now only be a DPS, and if it is melee again, well then they've just wasted it. Now they've only got really 3 individual dark characters. Well, they do have 3 individual elements of dark characters, even though they would have 4, but 2 of them would be not same named, but same character. I mean, you can't use them on the same team, so it wouldn't really be the most hype. I would say we'd probably end up getting Zeldris, or Demon King Zeldris, or someone like that, because obviously normally every end of year we get a melee, but I guess it would sort of make sense to get one of the brothers this year. We won't get Mael, because Mael probably never come to the game. We have used him in the story, and he didn't have any custom. He had animations and a custom passive, but he didn't have custom pictures on his cards or an ultimate or gold cards at all. But anyway, thank you for watching this video, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye bye.